Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. So I've done some of these videos on my other channel, Larry Graves ASMR, for Rolling Stone. And this time I'm going to do them for Ultimate Classic Rock. This is their list of top 100 80s rock albums. And I'm just going to go through the list and I'll let you know which ones I've heard, which ones I own at the moment, and which ones at some point, like I said, I've listened to. Here we go. All right. The Pretenders, their debut album. I have that in my CD collection. It's one of the great debut albums, for sure. Rush, Permanent Waves. I used to own that on vinyl. Thing with Rush, I think they're one of the most talented bands ever. And I've bought their albums off and on through the years, but I don't know. When I would have them in my collection, I just never want to listen to them. But I really respect Rush, and they're a great band. Against the Wind, I never owned. Um the one before, I think I owned a couple of the ones before this on vinyl back in the day. I'm going to say that a lot back in the day. Yep, I have quite a few Elvis Costello albums. Get Happy, I love that album. Uh, I think I owned their debut album on vinyl. Great debut album, but besides that, I never bought any Van Halen records. Just not my thing, man. Never bought any Black Sabbath without Ozzy. I know, they still made some pretty good albums with Dio. I've heard a couple of them, but I'm just too much of an Ozzy guy with Black Sabbath. The 8 studio albums with Ozzy is all I need. I've never owned British Steel by Judas Priest. I had that on vinyl back in the day. Very good album. Don't have it on CD. I have that on CD. Damn good album. Yep, I have that on CD. I have every David Bowie album. Yeah, as much as I love Ozzy and Black Sabbath, I just never got into his solo career. I never bought a single solo album. I'm sorry, Ozzy. I had that on vinyl back in the 80s. Just, except for Tunnel of Love and maybe Born to Run, that's about all that I would need from Bruce Springsteen for myself. Dire Straits, I've never had that album. I did have the Dire Straits box set a couple of years ago, but once again, I never played it much, so I ended up trading it in. I have that, Remain in Light, although I prefer Fear of Music. I have that, and the stripped down version, which I like more than the original version. But both great albums. And I even like the Yoko Ono songs. Yep. I have everything by The Clash. And that is my favorite Clash album. I never bought Styx Paradise Theater, but on vinyl back in the old days, what's that one? Something of 8. I bought that one on vinyl, but I don't know. I'm just not a big Styx fan. I never bought any Phil Collins solo albums ever. I've never owned that. Moving Pictures. I'm not a big fan of the Police, although I did buy their debut album when it came out. I had that on vinyl. Very good album. Nope. Nope. I bought Foreigner's debut album when it came out, and then that was it for me. Just not my, if you love Foreigner, that's great, but just not a fan. Same with Journey. I think it was their third album called Next, when they were a bit more jazzy or progressive rock. And I liked it, but, this is when they went more poppy and just no interest in it. I had that on vinyl, very good record. Just don't have it on CD. I have that on CD. I think it's a bit underrated. I have that on CD, not one of my favorite Genesis albums, but still, it's good. I have that on CD, the deluxe version. It's excellent. I've never owned a Motley Crue album. Thank God. No, sorry, Ozzy. Asia, never got into Asia, even though Steve Howe is one of my all-time favorite guitarists. Never got into Iron Maiden. I have a few Richard Thompson albums, and I know people have said, oh, you got to hear this. I think I have heard it on Spotify, and I might get it at some point. Not one of my favorite Paul McCartney albums, but I do have it. I have the deluxe box set. Toto, I never bought any Toto. I have that on CD, Avalon. My favorite album of theirs is their debut. I never bought Mirage, but, back in the day on vinyl, I had Rumors and probably my favorite, Tusk. Never bought any Joe Jackson except for his first album, years and years ago on vinyl. Yep. Along with King of America, my favorite Elvis Costello album, I have that. I had it on vinyl and I have it on CD. No, Judas Priest, Nebraska, I had that on vinyl and I enjoyed it. Don't have it on CD. I wouldn't mind having it on CD though. That's the one Peter Gabriel album I've never heard. Security. Not a Kiss fan, although I have their debut album. That's the only one I like. Nope, never bought that. Yep, ZZ Top Eliminator, one of their best. Yeah, Let's Dance. It's a very good album. Never bought any Dio. Never bought any Iron Maiden. Never bought any Stevie Ray Vaughan. I did have that on, I thought it was just the debut album, but I did buy Synchronicity when it came out. Yeah, I kind of liked it, but just not a big fan of the Police. I never bought Kill 'Em All by Metallica. I did buy Billy Joel albums in the 70s and early 80s, but I never bought Innocent Man. I think the last one I bought was The Bridge. No. Yep, I had Rebel Yell on vinyl. I'd like to get that on CD. It's a great album. I have that on CD, 90125. Great album. But I never had it on vinyl. Nope, never had 1984. Yeah, I had that. I had the Cars box set too, and once again, if I'm not playing it after a couple of years, I trade it in. My favorite album of theirs is their first one. No, never got into Twisted Sister. I had that on vinyl. Not really interested to have it on CD though. But I used to enjoy it back in the day. Back in the day. Nope. I have the movie, but I never had that on CD or vinyl. Nope, never bought any Bryan Adams. Never bought any Don Henley. Not really a fan of the Eagles. Never bought Los Lobos, although I've seen them in concert twice. They opened for U2 and Neil Young. I'm a big fan of Creedence Clearwater Revival, but I just never, I've heard some of his solo albums online or whatever, but just not interested in them. Yeah. I have Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' Greatest Hits. I never bought, except for one of the earlier albums I just showed you, Damn the Torpedoes. I never really bought his albums, but he's great. I had that on vinyl and CD at one point. It's my favorite Dire Straits album. Nope. Yep, I used to be a pretty big John Cougar Mellencamp fan for a few years. And I have that. No, I don't. I don't have that on CD. I've never bought any Tom Waits, even though I do like him from, what I've heard of him. Bob Dylan. I've never bought the box set Biograph. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I never bought So. I've never heard the whole album. I prefer, from what I've heard, I prefer his first album and his third. Nope. No. I've got Ace of Spades and a couple of other albums, but I don't have that one. Motorhead is awesome. Yep, I have Graceland. It was gifted to me, and I had it on vinyl back in the day. Nope. Yes, I had that on vinyl and CD, and then a few years back, I just kind of got fed up with them. So I don't have any. No, I think I was gifted Rattle and Hum. But I don't have the Joshua Tree on CD. Nope, never got into the Cult. I never bought that, but I did buy Use Your Illusion, parts 1 and 2. Which, back in the day I did like. Yep. And I've got that back on CD. It was gifted to me. Thank you. Warren Zevon, I never bought that one. The only album I had of his was Excitable Boy, which I really liked. Yeah, my favorite Bruce Springsteen that I want to get on CD at some point. Nope. Yeah, I had that on vinyl. It was a very good album. But not on CD. I never had that box set. But it'd be nice to have that on CD. I did buy that on vinyl when it came out and enjoyed it, but nothing on CD. Never got into Jane's Addiction. Nope. Nope. Yep, I had that on vinyl. I'd like to get that on CD. Volume 3 also. Yes, I'm a huge Lou Reed fan. Had that on vinyl and I've got it on CD. Nope. Never bought it. Nope. Yes, I used to buy these. My favorite is Toys in the Attic, which I don't have on CD at the moment. But back then, I think it was CDs that I was buying. And I did buy some of those later albums at some point and just gave up on them. I don't have that, but I did have it at one point. Nope. I did have that on vinyl and CD at one point. Pretty good album. And that's it. So yeah. So what are some of your favorite albums from this list? Let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. And I might do, if I get enough feedback on this video, I might do, I think there's a list for the 70s and probably the 60s too. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment below. Bye.